Hey, what's going, y'all? It is yours truly once again. Can the queen become the ace? Somebody asked me about that, and I made it clear that the queen can't become the ace. The ace has to already be in her. She has to already have that ace quality. Ideally, this should be for every single queen that's out there because, see, the idea of the queen is that you continue to establish your royalty, you continue to build your kingdom that you have with this king. You continue to build your lineage with him. And of course, the way this would work is that as the queen is working on building her kingdom, working on building the kingdom with the king, she has all these different levels per se. And let me just roll this out for y'all so y'all can see what I mean. And I mentioned this in my video that I did about how uh I preferred aces over queens. But basically the king makes sure that upon meeting her that she's a queen from day one. And so these different phases that she goes through is part of her development as a queen. And this is in regards to building up the kingdom and things like that. So, that's that aspect. But the ace aspect that should already be in her is the idea that she's developing other qualities that are not so tangible. Because this is what the ace embodies. It embodies the intangibles. So yes, let's look at it this way in regards to development. The queen aspect of the woman in your life is developing her tangible qualities. And the ace part of the woman in your life is her developing these intangible qualities. Now, of course, as a prerequisite, when you're looking for a woman that has this queen embodiment per se, it's just from the standpoint of nurturing and having children and things like that. But at the same time, she should be bringing your way a lot of good spirituality, a lot of good emotional stability and things like that. And I forgot to mention the fourth level per se in regards to the ace. I thought there was only 3 of these types in my card deck that I have. So as a correction, yes, there is the ace of diamond. So just in case a card person noticed that I didn't have that in my last video, voila, I found it. But nevertheless, yes, the ace aspect of the woman in your life, she's developing all of the spiritual qualities and things like that. And this is what's lacking in society. Women that are really there for men in other ways that are part of the intangibles. But this represents an ace at her core. And so this is what most men are realizing these days. Most kings are realizing, the men that are kings, we're realizing that this is probably the best way to go going forward, because a lot of females that aren't real women just assume it's just about them being a queen, but they're not realizing you should also be his ace as well. So in a land where there's not a lot of true queens with ace qualities, it's just best to run into decent women who have become great aces, and that eventually becomes something that supersedes the queen altogether, as it does in the game of cards in the first place. So the way I'll round this up is, yes, for a woman that has the ace quality already in her, she didn't have to become the ace. She's advancing in both ways. Like I said, she's developing and advancing with her tangibles as her basic essentials of what a woman is and what a queen is. And she's also developing her intangibles in all these 4 different phases in regards to her being a good support system, someone that prays, someone that understands the supernatural, someone that can have good foresight, insight, wherewithal, and great endurance. Yes, she does not leave a man just because he's not obtaining certain tangibles. Excuse me. Yeah, she won't leave him just because he's not obtaining certain tangibles. Because of her ace qualities, she sees the intangibles. She's been praying herself. She's been seeing a lot of things ahead just based on the vision that he's put before her. And she's seeing how certain things come together and how it's supposed to work. All this in succession. So some of the best women that men can meet in regards to the ace per se, some of them could have been divorced, dropped out of marriages that where they weren't able to be the fullness of the ace. They were only used for the queen attributes, you know, as far as just the tangibles, the motherly aspects of having the children and things like that, and only for sexual pleasures. That's it. But this woman had more to bring to the table. She had a whole lot more. She had these intangibles, and yet she never had a man in her life to really have her be utilized in such a way. But lo and behold, a real king shows up, and the ace is always ready to go on that deckhand and shut down the game. And so I would say, yes, look for an ace in this day and age. It's not that the queen becomes the ace. The queen should already have ace attributes in her. And as she gets older, she's just utilizing more of that, just giving her situations and circumstances, whether she has stuck it out with the same king or she had a dumb king that dropped her, but she's still good to go when someone picks up her hand and, you know, shuts down the game. So, but that's what it is like now. I think that's what it is now. I think in this society, there's not enough women that really understand their role and their position in this world, and they're just so entitled. You know, just because they want to call themselves a queen, you're not necessarily being what a queen's supposed to be as far as her development, and you're not realizing that you also are supposed to embody the ace attributes of being there and being dependable when the time counts. You know, he can pull you out his back pocket and shut the game down. You know, that's what a woman's supposed to be in a man's life in regards to a true helpmeet. And hopefully one can see that this is what I'm trying to show right before you, you know. So, so ladies, hope you like this video. Fellas, hope you like this video a lot. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, she can be all that queen entitlement. But if she ain't got what it takes to do this, she ain't really about that life. Signing out.